Family. The quality of your retirement, whether peaceful and enjoyable on the one hand or turbulent and contentious on the other hand, can have a lot to do with your relationship with family members. Family members can be great supporters of retirees, providing companionship, offering support, stimulating interest, and planning activities. Retirees often look forward to spending more time with family and being generous with family members, even giving top priority to serving family members. Yet family members can also have unreasonable expectations for retirees, interfere with retiree independence, and burden retirees with family strife. Just as many retirees may rank family their first priority and greatest enjoyment in retirement, many other retirees may conversely rank family as their greatest burden and irritation in retirement. In the best case, family members, especially grandchildren, are a retiree's crowning glory. In the worst case, family members, especially rascal adult children, are a retiree's bane. Monitor the quality of your family relationships in retirement and make adjustments as you and your family members need. Influence. For the best relationships with family members in retirement, recognize that you influence, if not entirely control, those relationships. Don't take the attitude that you must succumb to whatever conditions, demands, and burdens your family members impose for your retirement. Yes, you must get along, and doing so may take negotiation, communication, and compromise. But if your family members are all emancipated rather than dependent on your guardianship and support, and as long as you remain independent, you may choose to go your own way if the negotiations over a suitable relationship don't resolve to your satisfaction. The ideal may be to grow closer to family members in retirement. But sometimes, family members do better farther apart in relationships. If you find in retirement that you must limit contact with relatives for a time, simply for your mental health and peace of mind, then do so. They may need a break from a strain in the relationship too. Whatever you decide about your family relationships, accept that you, not they, are responsible for your retirement peace and state of mind. Independence. One way to balance family relationships in retirement is to maintain a perspective of independence, as long as your independence is wise and possible. Offer help to family members and accept the help of family members too. Frequent mutual exchanges of small and large favors with family members can strengthen and confirm the family bond, while offering closeness, interest, activity, and companionship. Yet when either you or your family member begin to depend on involvement and assistance, the happy involuntary family relationship can devolve into an unhappy and involuntary transactional service relationship. Childcare is an example. You may love spending time with your grandchild, and you may be more than willing to provide regular childcare while your adult child works, socializes, or runs errands. But becoming a full-time daycare provider for your grandchild, on whom your adult child depends, may affect attitudes, expectations, rules, and relationships. You may still wish to do so. Just recognize that the moment you subtly shift on any issue, from independence to dependence, attitudes, feelings, and relationships may change, and not always for the better. Sharing. Voluntarily sharing time, services, support, and activities with family members, rather than depending on one another, can make for a more stable, joyful, and stronger relationship. The time for dependence may soon come. As we age in retirement, we may need our adult children to help us manage our financial and medical affairs, and may even need our grandchildren's support and small services. Nothing is inherently wrong with dependence. Caring for dependent family members can be a beautiful thing. You cared for your children when they were young. They may be able to care for you when you are old. Few things are so precious as that reciprocal care. Yet if you are not yet in need of your adult children's care, then your relationship with your adult children may be stronger, healthier, and better if you decline to depend on them, even if they offer. The same may be true that if your adult children don't need your care, given that they are adult and emancipated, then your relationship with them may be better if you don't attempt to force your care upon them. Instead, voluntarily share activities, services, and support without requesting, requiring, or inducing dependence. The time for dependence may soon come. Saving it for when it's necessary may better sustain the family relationship. Support. That said, retirees are often in a position to provide their family members, especially their adult children, with various forms of support. Your family members may likewise be in a good position to provide you with various forms of support in retirement. Your advantages over your younger family members are generally in terms of time, wisdom, and perhaps also discretionary finances. You may, for instance, have the time to run an errand for your working daughter or son while they are at work. You may also have the skill to fix their lawnmower or snowblower, and the spare cash to pay on your own for the parts. Your adult children's advantage over you may be in their strength and mobility. They may, for their part, be glad to move your sofa for you, and get a ladder out to clean the gutters on your roof. These kindnesses may bless both you and your adult children, especially if they are voluntary, rather than demanded and expected. Make mutual voluntary support a foundation for your family relationships. The blessings that you share with family members can substantially improve the quality of your retirement. Contention. Expect contention with family members to arise at times, even with the best of intentions on both sides. You and your adult children may have lived largely or entirely apart for many years before you drew closer to them in retirement. That distance may have been necessary, such as if your children moved to another area for marriage and careers, and to raise children. That distance was also likely appropriate. You each had lives to live, but you may have had the opportunity and made the choice in retirement to move closer to your adult children, with their encouragement. Your new proximity, though, can take working out new relationships. Don't assume that your relationship with your adult child will be the same in retirement as it was decades earlier, when your child first left your home, or even as it was more recently, before you retired and moved closer. Your adult child may need you to recognize their maturity and authority, particularly over their own children, your grandchildren. Again, expect some small disagreements. When contention arises, though, don't let it devolve into conflict. Respect your adult children's authority within their own sphere, especially as to their children, your grandchildren, while expecting them to respect your authority within your own. Spouse. If you are married at retirement, your most significant family relationship in retirement is with your spouse. Expect some adaptations, if not outright changes, in your relationship with your spouse, occasioned by your retirement. Recognize that your spouse has routines and responsibilities. You may have abundant new time to help your spouse with household chores and activities that your spouse previously performed alone. Your spouse may expect you to help, but your spouse may also not want your help, or may want your help only to a certain degree, after a certain fashion, or in a certain form. Don't force your spouse to change routines, and don't take offense at your spouse's resistance to letting you do so. Imagine if your spouse had suddenly shown up at work to tell you how to do what you'd been doing on your own just fine for years. Back off in those situations. Find and arrange spaces in the home for each of you where you can be comfortably apart, and another space where you can be comfortably together. In time, and with patience, you'll do just fine. If, instead, you find that the two of you are struggling, then communicate civilly about your struggles, getting the help of a pastor, family counselor, or other outsider as necessary and appropriate. Don't let hard feelings grow into bitterness. Make retirement years a time of peace and contentment, especially in your relationship with your spouse. Children. Your relationship with your adult child or children in retirement can certainly be special and rewarding. It can also present challenges. An above paragraph has already mentioned your need to respect your adult child's maturity and authority, especially over grandchildren. You raised your child. You are not raising your grandchildren. Your child is raising your grandchildren. Keeping that truth in mind can reduce contention. Unless your child asks for your advice, hesitate to offer it, especially as to how to raise your grandchildren. Financial support can also be an issue in your relationship with children. You may have the means to bless your children financially. You may choose to do so through annual gifts up to the limit at which federal law would begin to impose a gift tax. But that would be your choice, not your children's expectation, requirement, or demand. Financial gifts inevitably change relationships. They can also foster dependency and expectations. If you don't want your relationship with your children to change because of your financial gifts, then provide instead for them in your estate plan. Thank you for watching. Get more tips plus stories, reflections, and illustrations in the guide.